Welcome everybody to another segment of PPEs. Frank here with ICS, and I'm going to show you today on how to attach your anchor to the roof system, and then of course your safety line. In our last episode, we showed everybody how to properly put on the harness, which I still have on now, and I'm going to show you now how to get everything else geared up and ready so that we're safe when you're up on the roof. So the first thing is, once we have our harness on, we have to attach an anchor. So this is going to hold us to the roof system, and what we have to do is we have to get this up to the very top. So one man actually has to climb up first, unattached, set all these anchors for each member of the crew. And how they do that is they go up to the very peak of the roof up here, and they're going to attach this on the roof, on that peak, and it must be attached to a rafter. And then a minimum amount of 6 nails, you can see the multiple holes in each side of the plates of this anchor so that you can appropriately nail to a rafter. So you're going to line this up, preferably with the center line, and you're going to have at least 6 nails, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 holes that should line up on the rafter so that we can spike that off to the rafter, and it has to be attached on both sides. That way it's solid enough and appropriate for the amount of weight that it's going to carry. So we'll make sure that this is securely fastened to that roof system. Once we have that done to the top of the roof, each man has to have his own separate anchor and rope. So next thing is, this is our safety line with our lanyard on it. So that is movable, and I'll show you how that works. So we're going to take this portion of the line, and we're going to clip it to the D-ring at the top of that anchor, like this. You're going to always check and make sure that hook is in good working order, and it has to be released in 2 separate segments. So you have to release the back before you can release the anchor itself. We make sure that's clipped, fully secured, and we're ready to go. Next, what we're going to do, when you have the rope here, is helpful to have a second person up there. What you have to reach around and hook this to your ring, and it's a little bit tough, just like this. So we're going to make sure that we're hooked on real good. So you want to tug on it, make sure it's secure, and then we're ready to start working on the roof. You have your slip right here, and this, when you release it, you'll be able to pull the rope down. When you let go of that, it tightens up on the rope so it won't slip out. And you can actually use this as a stabilizer on the roof. So we always want to have this hooked to the back ring. So that is where we have to have this, and that is, again, to the OSHA standard. And we want to make sure that we keep up with our OSHA compliance. So this is the appropriate way to have this all hooked up. And as you can see, that'll pull down when you release it. It will not move, and that's what holds you on the roof. It will, however, pull up through, but not down through. It is a little easier to do it that way by releasing it, but it will pull up so you can tighten up as you come up the elevation. You want to keep this line at no more than 6 feet of fall, which means as you're working, you can only have about 6 feet of slack in that rope, so that if you do slip and start sliding at 6 feet, it will stop you. Again, that's one of the OSHA regulations, and we want to make sure that, as we're working, we keep adjusting this rope. So I see a lot of guys, they'll have a bunch of slack in the line. I always let them know that, hey guys, you need to tighten up your lines just to make sure that you can't come off that roof. So we want to keep all our people safe, and make sure you keep all your people safe on those roofs too.